um, boy, have I have another story for you guys today. Story time, story time, story time. Um, so just the other day I was driving and I had this radical idea. Cause I was driving and I go places mentally, right? So I put myself in a satellite's position mentally, and I took a stop and I viewed the world from a top-down position. And then as I was driving down the street, I realized there's a bunch of cameras everywhere, right? And then I thought to myself, there's even cameras in the sky. They're actually monitoring us, like unconsciously. We know they're monitoring us, but we don't actually know why. They tell you it's because of safety and all this stuff, but now let's put one and two together and make three. We are real right now, right? We're being 100% honest. We already don't know what we actually are. We already don't actually know what this life is. Then I thought to myself, reality sure does reminds me of a computer's like motherboard, like the road that I'm driving on is like a pathway down to a certain place wherever you're going, and you get to a certain destination, and your life itself is actually energy, right? Then I stopped and I thought, I'm like, whoa, if you were to go really high up and take a look down onto the earth itself, it literally looks like a motherboard, right? So check this out, right? That's a top-down perspective of just like an area, a neighborhood. We could go on forever, right? Remember, this earth is big, it's like a whole system. And check this out. This is like a motherboard, but a small little compressed one. You see how similar they look? Right? Okay, what's happening inside this motherboard that powers this literal screen right now, right? Now, story time. Let's put your minds to work. So as I was driving down the road, I realized something. Inside these motherboards, right? A little, basically, let's call it electricity. There's electricity firing to specific areas to do a specific thing to get a specific result, right? And if any of these, let's say the electricity goes to a wrong place, it sends off a signal and they correct it. Now, check it out. Same things with humans. We live in a system, right? I like to call it the maze system, because the maze system distracts us from actually thinking and actually going against the system so the system can work correctly, just like a computer system, right? Pretty smart. Now, check this. The motherboard, though, is doing all this unconsciously, and it doesn't even know what it's powering, right? All the freaking electricity knows inside is to go. Let's say you have like 10 different slots of electricity. This one knows it's supposed to go here to do this, and it doesn't know why it's going. It's just being told a whole bunch of bullshit. Just keep going down there. This one is going here to power this, power this. It doesn't know. Just keep going down there. So it's believing everything it's told without even questioning it or going down the road. Well, the wrong path. Well, the other path, because there's no wrong path to actually see what's happening. But if it does it, it's gonna cause an error, and they're gonna come and fix it. Just like how, in reality, if you go against what the system is telling you, they have physical cops, right? They will come and correct you and put you in the right place, right? They have corrections. Now, since we don't know what we are literally, we just assume and we believe. Believe is a double-edged sword. I just use believe as a word just for you to understand, but I don't believe. Check this. We are actually in the same positions of these these electricity things in the computer, like electrons, whatever you guys want to call them. I don't want to get really specific because people can take this so far left, so far right, can go all ways, but just listen to what I'm saying and maybe you could make it better. Now, check this. we are that electricity but on this planet. Because if you really check it out, we don't actually know what the fuck this is, right? We're just being told to do this, till we're burnt out and then we're gone. We're being used, right? So now let's go back to the motherboard. The motherboard now is doing all these things unconsciously, and then eventually all the electrons die out and they keep replacing them, burn out. Same thing with humans, they burn out. But now they're not aware that they're actually doing all this to power a screen. Some of them are, because some of them are going to the screen, but that's classified information from the others. Just like how you have politics in a system, right? It's the same shit. It's a system. Why do we even have classified information if we put these guys in power to lead us? Well, not me, you guys, you friggin' idiots. I don't need a leader, I govern my own self. So check this. Why do we have classified information if we give them this power? I'm saying we because we're all the same consciousness and we understand each other, right? So I'm experiencing it at the same time, so hey, I'm a part of it. So that must be, it's because we are powering something bigger than us. Like, because if you really break it down and stop and take a look at it, this system that we live in, like, we go to work, we eat, we sleep, we go home, and we keep repeating it forever. What are we building? Like, don't think about you as an individual, as yourself. Like, think about overall, what are we trying to achieve? Like, as the human species, what are we trying to achieve? What's the end goal? We must be powering something then. We must be powering something. Like, now check out how similar we are to this computer system. Right? Electricity is going in, right? It's flowing, and then you hit a button and the screen lights up. Just like how we have a sun, right? We have a sun. It sets at a certain time. Well, it rises at a certain time and it sets at a certain time. And when it rises, we get energized. Just like how when you turn on the computer, it gets energized. It charges up. And when you power it down, the electrons power down and they go back to the freaking battery, basically to not be in use, but to be at rest until you turn it back on. Just like us in the nighttime, when the moon comes, all of a sudden we get tired unconsciously. It's like, oh man, I'm feeling tired because it's nighttime. Why is it that you're tired? Because it's nighttime. I mean, you could fight it, but if you fight it for too long, you burn out and you die. Just like an electron or electricity, right? Now tell me if that shit isn't strange. You have a big blue sky above you. Turns on and turn off. And you're moving at the same time with it. Like, you react the same way with it, your energy level. But the funny thing is, you don't even think about it like that. You're told if you think about it that way, you're crazy. Or if you think about it that way without a degree, you don't know what you're talking about. Because you have to go through the system to get this classified information that you're not allowed to tell everybody else. Or they'll probably kill your ass or some shit if you do. If you don't go through this system, you're going against the system. And if you go against the system, you're a threat. Because once everybody knows what's actually happening, it becomes really scary. Bombs. Eliminate the race, like, just to get the system back in, I guess, in order. It's like they send in the antivirus to clean up the whole shit. But why? You guys ever took a stop and just take that top-down perspective view of the world and realize that it's almost like a maze? Like you're living in a maze, but it's a physical maze that blocks your mental capacity. Like you can't think. It blocks your thought process because the physical is so big, it dwarfs your thinking abilities. But if you can get outside the physical maze and get your mind around it and have like a global like perspective, you'll see all the possibilities and all the theories and how much you really don't know. And it's really cool because it makes every day worth living, because you're trying to figure this stuff out, man. It's like a big puzzle. But I think it's really unfair that they keep this puzzle to a restricted amount of people. Like, it's like a little amount. Anyways, that's one of the crazy, well, that's one of the crazy things. But that's one of the thoughts I've had. And it's pretty cool because everything's different. Everything's so different. Anyways, you don't know how the thing's set. Unity. One love. You don't know.